Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life. And yes, indeed, I do have in front of me the Pixel phone by Google. That name's going to be hard to get used to. This isn't a dual unboxing. We don't have Pixel and Pixel XL because I think, at least I get the impression that Google's just really pushing this Pixel phone, and then you decide which version of the Pixel, the XL version or the regular version, if that makes sense. So anyway, we have the Pixel. This is the XL version in black, or quite black. And we're going to start this review period. So as you now know, there's tons of content out there about the Pixel. We've had the phone for a little bit, but either way, we always like to kick these things off by doing just this. Let's unbox the Google Pixel XL. So where do we begin here? Well, let's just start looking at packaging. So Pixel phone by Google, Google logo. This is not a Nexus. You guys are well aware of the fact that Nexus is now essentially gone. The Nexus brand is dead, and Google says at this time they have no more plans to make new ones. So with this, obviously a big push here, Google Assistant, Google Cast pushing is interesting, and this is a Daydream VR ready phone. Flip to this side, Google logo. On the back, actually nothing. So the packaging is pretty minimal. Up top, there's nothing as well. And on the bottom is the size and all of that stuff. So we just slide this guy out. And you'll notice right there, nothing on that side either. Nothing on that. So yeah, the packaging is completely minimal. So flip it open. There is the phone, black version. Quite black, so not blue, not white. We will set that there. Take a look here in a second. Let's see what's inside. More guides. So there is your SIM tool there. Get started. You guys have seen get started guides a lot, right? Meet Google Assistant. I'm assuming Google Fit stuff. Google Play Music. This must be free trial information. Let's actually open up this guide because there actually does seem to be some stuff in here. So in the guide, it tells you where your power and volume buttons are, shows the cables you've got, shows you how to charge it. You guys know how to do most of that stuff. Shows you where the SIM tool goes, so where your SIM tray is. There is no micro SD, so that doesn't work. They do have a cable so you can transfer from one phone to another. And yes, they are showing iPhone transferring over to Pixel. I know we don't normally look at guides, but Google's just, they do different packaging sometimes than we're used to. So in the box, it looks like USB Type-C cable here on one end and just regular USB on the other. So this is your USB to Type-C cable. Let's see what's under here. This is a Type-C adapter for just regular USB. So this would be essentially how the transfer would work, I would imagine. This also turns this into a USB-C to USB-C. Okay, so we've got cables, and we'll see if there's anything in here. More cables. So here is a Type-C to Type-C cable. And then here is your power brick with absolutely no logos anywhere on it. It just is a black power brick. And that is all that's in the box. So you do get a Type-C to Type-C cable, power brick, and this does do fast charging. They're giving you an adapter for USB here, so you can do that device to device transfer. And then here is that USB to micro USB. That's what you get in the box. So let's move all of that out of the way. Here is the phone. So this is what we really care about, right? We will peel that off. All right, plastic gone. Oh, there's a little note on there about meeting your personal Google Assistant. All right, so Pixel XL. Now, you guys have seen us do our initial hands-on of this from the event, but now we really have it in-house. We have good lighting. We can really show you exactly what this phone is capable of, all of that stuff. So let's fire it up and we'll take a tour of everything. We're not going to fully boot into software and dive into that. We'll save that for an additional video. So in terms of specs, again, there's two phones. There's the Pixel and then there's the Pixel XL. Now the differences are essentially size, display and display resolution, and then battery. So this is the bigger guy. This is the XL. You have a 5.5 inch Quad HD AMOLED display up top. That's a new boot animation and sound. Gorilla Glass 4, you have a Snapdragon 821 quad-core 64-bit processor on the inside. Now that is on the inside of both the Pixel and the Pixel XL. 4 gig RAM. Up on the back here, we have a 12.3 megapixel f2.0 1.55 micron pixel camera. It's a Sony sensor, and Google, at least so far, is saying that it is the highest rated camera ever in terms of smartphones. They're obviously basing that off of DxOMark rating that they gave shortly before they announced it. We have an 8 megapixel camera up front, f2.4, 3550 milliamp hour battery on the inside of this guy. Let's not dial the emergency numbers. 3450 milliamp hour battery with fast charging. The regular Pixel has a 2770 milliamp hour battery. You have storage options of 32 or 128 gig storage, no micro SD support. So if you need lots of storage, you may just want to fork out for the 128 gig. You have a fingerprint scanner here on the back, and I will say it sort of has this rubberish feel to this whole area. And I don't believe there's a sticker there, although it is sort of looking like, maybe not though. So outside of that, you do have USB Type-C, which we talked about on the bottom. It looks like you have dual speakers down here, but unfortunately you don't. You have just a single speaker, and it probably channels between the two or something like that, but you do have USB Type-C. Bluetooth 4.2, you have an IP53 rating in terms of water and dust resistant. So it's sort of dust proof, not completely dust tight, and then it's not really that water resistant. It can withstand some splashing at like a certain angle. You definitely should not submerge this in water. Takes nano SIM, comes in black, silver, or blue. Again, this is obviously the black version. So pricing, $649 is the starting price for the regular Pixel. That's 32 gig storage. Jumps up $100 to $750 if you want 128 gig storage. This version, the Pixel XL, starts at $769 for the 32 gig and then jumps up another $100 to $869 for 128 gig. It is not a cheap phone. This is Google, though, clearly showing that they want to take hardware seriously, and they are, going to try to compete at the top tier with Apple and Samsung and that stuff. So we'll see how it plays out, especially during our time testing this. I will say now, once again, that I have it in hand, it feels nice. We sort of made some early jokes about this looking a lot like an HTC phone, and that these phones were just HTC sort of knockoffs. But it doesn't really look like an HTC phone to me, nor does it necessarily feel like one in hand at this point. If you want to take a tour, so I pointed out, obviously 5.5-inch Quad HD display here, and then that 8 megapixel front camera. You got your sensors here, earpiece here, which is not doubling as a speaker. On the bottom, you do have USB Type-C, and then just a single speaker, but it probably channels between the two is my guess there. On this left side, you have nothing other than that SIM tray. And then if we switch over to the right side, you actually do have both power lock switch and then volume rocker just below it. If we go up top, headphone jack is up top, which is sad to see for those of us who do love that on the bottom, but they did put that up top. And yes, there is a headphone jack. I know we're still sort of talking about that. On the back, you do have Google logo here. So again, no Nexus. Fingerprint reader on the back, flash, camera, other sensors, I would imagine. And then you do have this sort of top two-tone area. So all metal, sort of almost that sandblasted sort of look to the back down here. And then up here, it's sort of a glossy plastic. I do not believe this is glass. It certainly doesn't look in person or feel like glass, but it's kind of got a soft touch to it. It will become a fingerprint magnet, I'm sure. And then there's your fingerprint reader. So that is pretty much it. This is just a quick unboxing. And we'll have plenty of software tours. We'll test the camera. All of that stuff you will be able to view shortly. We'll do comparisons, whatever you guys need to see, because this is a big deal. This is Google's, again, the first phone I believe they're taking seriously for the first time. So if you guys have comments, questions, let us know what you want to see with the Google Pixel phone. For now, though, we're Droid Life. Peace.